What's good, sports gamers? We all wish we could possess a cornerback that could do stuff like this, but it's simply not possible. So instead of sweating it out, with this video, I'm going to go over 10 cornerbacks that you can grab for bargains in your Madden 20 franchise that eventually can turn into beasts themselves. So let's get it. Coming in at number 10 is Lonnie Johnson Jr. The 54th overall pick in last year's draft, Johnson brings a lot of height to the Texans secondary, standing 6 foot 2 inches, which is tied for the tallest CB on the list. What's interesting with him is he brings more of a strong safety profile to the table, so if you like to play a lot of cover 2, I think he'll be able to excel on your team. The 89 speed and 91 acceleration isn't going to scare anybody deep, but having the length he does helps him still get to some stuff he otherwise wouldn't be able to keep up with. The 65 strength is definitely eye-catching, but his press rating will need some work to fully take advantage of it, because right now he's a strong corner who only can hit stick pretty good for his position and take advantage of that strength, because he can't block shed in the run game or play press. So the schemes he can excel at in cover 2 or man press have to be developed further to get him where you need. His speed is a huge reason why I think he'll be easily gettable in leagues, but he needs more to build up some of his strengths, like knocking the ball loose from receivers with that hit power to turn him into a nice cornerback for cheap. At 9 is David Long. Long was the very last CB on the Rams squad when I checked the offline franchise, so that's good news. I like the former Wolverine because the rookie combines good speed of 91, 90 excel, and 93 agility with a solid catch rating and potential as a press corner with his 76 rating. He could be better in the coverage department with his 70 man and 65 zone. Actually a lot better, but that's why he's so low on the list. But being 21 gives you a year or two on most of the competition with his athleticism to have a nice CB in no time if you focus on his development. At 8 is Grant Haley. I'm the Giants in the league right now, and I moved Haley to safety, and he's been balling, but he's listed as a cornerback here, so let's do it. I'm sad that he doesn't have the best coverage ratings to start, but those can be developed in no time. But the 23-year-old does give you as a guy who can fly around the field with his 91 speed, 91 acceleration, and 97 agility, along with his 71 play rec and 75 pursuit. He's kind of short, which is why I moved him to safety though, but he has the makers of a nice cornerback over time who can use his speed and change the direction to make things happen. The 56 block shed is also lovely for him to get in the way of any runs in his direction or quick passes to the flats. Now his 55 tackle might get him steamrolled, but he'll be there at least. The Giants corners in Madden are struggle island, so his trade value could swing all over the place. But in fantasy leagues I would definitely take him and build him up to rise the depth charts. At 7 is Holton Hill. The rookie is in the Lonnie Johnson territory of being, I'll just say, not the fastest of corners with his 89 speed and 90 excel. But the 22-year-old differs from Johnson in being the decent quarterback option right off the bat with his 74 man and 69 zone. Being 6'2", 196 pounds, he has some hit power also to him with 66 hit power rating, and the highest tackle rating on the list with a 66 as well. Unfortunately, he is also a member of Team No Hands as he has a 56 catch. Vikings users will probably roll out Rhodes, Waynes, and Alexander, so at best Hill will be the dime corner on most teams, so no worries about grabbing the former Longhorn for cheap. And if you found Johnson intriguing, Hill's a more souped up version of him. Just don't look at that 76 jumping. Coming in at number 6 is Nick Nelson. The former 4th round pick out of Wisconsin right off the bat gives you a corner who can shed blocks and not get steamrolled half the time, which is very valuable. But not only that, he has the second highest hit power rating on the list at 76 pursuits, so he is a very dangerous man chasing down the ball carrier. Now for the job he's actually paid to do, he's pretty good there as well. The 22-year-old starts with 75 man, 72 zone, and 77 press, which is above average in every single category. He's not fast, but he can cover and tackle the ball carrier and make stuff happen, so I'll always have a guy like that on my team. I like his coverage potential and the fact that he's mixed in with a bunch of the low 70s, high 60 rated corners on the Raiders. I would definitely see what's up with him in your league and in fantasy. He should be one of your top 3 corners despite his low overall. At 5 is Taron Johnson. Johnson's strength will be a man corner as he starts with 74 man coverage and a workable 74 press rating. He excels at getting off blocks and quickly reacting to things on the field with his 80 play rec rating. His biggest negative is he doesn't have crazy speed, but he has enough strength to start with that will get him on the field ASAP, like his ability to break away from blocks and decent reaction time. and the only thing you really have to focus on is his coverage rating. The good thing is the Bills' cornerback crew are all young, and he's probably the nickel on most Bills users' depth charts. But getting a 23-year-old will give you a very solid corner to progress over time. Fourth is Keion Crossen. Now, he was on the Patriots practice squad team, but I highly doubt that will be the case in your leagues because of one thing. That's right, that 95 speed. Getting him, you're guaranteed to get an excellent athlete to run all over the field for you. He not only has 95 speed, but 92 agility to make all the cuts necessary and 93 jump. He has a glaring weakness of having a terrible catch rating, so expect the passes he ends up getting to because of his speed to be dropped. But he does have some nice perks like being a pretty good guy, at least for corners who you can trust to make a tackle, 65 hit power, 79 pursuit, and 53 block share rating. He's a poor zone coverage corner but has average man rating to begin, so ideally both of those will need serious attention ASAP. He's good at the little things of being a corner and being 95 speed that you really only need to focus on having this cornerback, well, covered to get a dominant player really. 3 is Quincy Wilson. Now if you watched the Sleeper series since his debut, you will probably know I always have Quincy Wilson on my team if I get him and in the video. I love this dude. He isn't the fastest corner around, but he always gives me an Antoine Winfield feel, and he's also 6'2". Despite being on the list since his rookie year, he's still only 23, so age is still on his side. He is tied for the highest press rating on the list at a 79 and 76 man along with 70 zone, so being a dominant man corner is in his future. But with his 79 play rec, as long as you improve his zone coverage along the way, he can dominate at both. But his play rec and man coverage rating will allow him to be locking up things right from the start. What I love is he is an excellent tackler for a corner and has 77 hit power. That's right, 77. You can put him all over and let him make plays for you and develop. Play the slot and he can hold his own. Outside, and he's a good enough corner not to get embarrassed. Even at safety, his 77 hit power allows him to do some damage there. Quincy Wilson, you're the best. At 2 is J.C. Jackson. The undrafted free agent has turned himself into a respectable Madden corner after having a decent rookie year for the Pats. He's average across the board in speed, agility, and excel, and he's a terrible tackler. But he excels at the main part of his job, which is covering receivers. The 23-year-old starts Madden 20 with 76 man, 72 zone, and 78 press. Again, above average ratings for the position, and his age gives you a leg up on most. His 74 play rec also gives him a nice starting point to get jumps on passes to utilize his also nice coverage rating numbers. Looking at the Pats, it's not fair to corner situation. Even if you take out the superhero Gilmore, Crossen, Jones, and Jackson is a nice top 3. And the presence of the 95 speed Jonathan Jones and Crossen will definitely have Jackson be available sooner than those two, which combined with his skills is a must get. He comes out the package as a decent man press corner and will only get better, and he's a star development. And coming in at number 1 on Sports Gamers Online top 10 sleeper corners to grab in Madden 20 is Josh Jackson. Another story. I played with the Packers in the league last year, and Jackson ended up a 90-something in 1.5 seasons, so I'm a bit biased here. He possesses enough speed to not get burned deep consistently, has the best catch rating of anybody on the list at a 77, so he's not dropping anything. But what makes him great is how versatile of a coverage guy he is. Starting with 80 zone coverage, so cover 3 and cover 4, he can do it. 75 man and 79 press, so he can dominate in man defense in no time, and will make enough plays in the beginning for you. Then adding the 74 play rec and his coverage potential is the highest of anybody. He even has 64 hit power for good measure, which as I've mentioned earlier in the vid is pretty good for a corner. He also could be a crazy safety for you if your corner depth is just that good. Much like the Bills situation, Jackson is a part of a secondary that's deep with young players, so it should be easier to get him than if he was only one of 2 good CBs on the squad. King has the height on him, but Jackson is equal or better in mostly everything else. But with all that, it makes sense why Josh Jackson sits atop Sports Gamers Online top 10 sleeper corners to grab in Madden 20. So alright sports gamers, do you agree with the list? And if not, what's a cornerback that you have been targeting or have played with and dominated that you think deserved a shout out? Let us know in the comments down below. In my Giants league, I'm trying to get Nelson and Wilson this offseason. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I like my corners to get up in there and tackle people and, break block sheds and all that good stuff. But alright y'all, listen, stay tuned in Sports Gamers Online for more Madden 20 sleeper vids. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching, and be good, y'all.